Good day, parents and students. This is just a supplemental presentation of the information from assembly earlier today because there were some challenges with the internet stream, and I recognize that some majority of persons were unable to follow the information in the way that it should have been shared. So I'm gonna share the information again that was shared this morning, particularly as it relates to the reopening of school for our Form 1 to 3 students. Please note that, as was indicated, our Form 1 to 3 students return to school from next Monday, the 7th of February. On Friday last, a schedule was published indicating the days on which the students are to come out to school for the remainder of the term. I want to advise parents and students to please adhere to this schedule strictly, as it will be enforced. We do not want students showing up for school, for physical school, on the days that you are not scheduled to be here. When students are to report for physical school, parents have to take note that students are required to be in their full uniform. Of course, I would have shared since before that uniforms are on sale at the school's cafeteria, and therefore you are asked to ensure that you have your uniform provided for your child. The days that students are here, if it's on Monday to Thursday, even though classes are scheduled to begin at 8:30, remember that the students have worship prior to the start of classes, and they are required to be here for worship. So on Mondays to Thursdays, if students are scheduled to be in school, they are to be here from by the latest 8 o'clock. And on a Friday, if they are to be here on Fridays, they are supposed to be here by 7:30. This is to allow for them to be able to sanitize and settle in so that they can be on time for their class worship schedules. Parents are also reminded that all students who are to be present on the compound are required to adhere to the safety guidelines as issued by the Ministry of Education and adhered to by the school in our instructions to all students. Everyone entering the compound is required to have their temperature tested, to sanitize, and upon entry there are wash sinks and soap and paper towels provided at the entry, and there are also sanitization stations across the school. However, we also advise parents that you can provide your students with their own hand sanitizer that they can use for their own purposes. Students are not to be sharing snacks and food and those kinds of things while they are present on the compound, and we would really want parents to remind your children to adhere to these guidelines. It's for their safety and for the safety of everyone else on the compound. All right. We also want to remind you that classes will follow the schedule as they are now. Classes will also simultaneously happen online, so that students who, for whatever reason, whether it be that they are required to be in quarantine or for health challenges, may not be able to come out, students are also advised that the classes will be conducted live just as they are now via our Schoology platform, and that even though you are not physically on the compound and you have a class schedule, that you're required to sign in just as you are on the compound. Because of the arrangements we've made on the compound for students to have their classes, students do not need to come to school with a device to log into class. They will be taken care of by the arrangement we have on the compound, where screens are installed in the rooms that would be used, and the classes will be facilitated accordingly on that platform. I just want to advise that we want everybody to come out and to be safe according to the schedule that is prescribed. And I really wanted to let parents know that you need to remind your children of their responsibility in the choices that they make while they are away from you and they are on the school's compound. Additionally, once classes are finished for the day, students are free to leave, so that your transportation arrangements should take that into consideration, so that they can leave the school compound in a timely manner. We have not received any word yet on the resumption of the government shuttle services. So please know that as soon as I get any update with respect to that, I will inform accordingly about that. What we also would like to ensure happens is that because of Form 1 and 2 students in particular have never been on the compound, even though you have classes scheduled like on a Friday, like just for the first period, we are encouraging our form teachers to utilize at least one additional period on a Friday to have a session with the students where they get to know them. The students get a better orientation in terms of what life at CUC Secondary is all about, and they can be better acquainted with their school. What we would like to, the form teachers will contact you accordingly to let you know what days and times they will have those sessions with the students, so that you can plan your transportation arrangements accordingly for those days. Please note again, parents, that students are to leave the compound once their classes for the day are finished, so that please take note of that in your transportation arrangements. If for some reason you're unable to facilitate the students leaving as soon as their classes are dismissed, that information needs to be communicated to their form teachers, so that we can make arrangements in terms of a holding area for all students who need to await transportation because of delays or whatever the case may be. I want to wish all of you all the best, and we look forward to our students coming back out. As I said, please pay attention to the schedule. It will be strictly adhered to, and we want to ensure that everyone remains safe for the duration of the time on the compound. If your child has to be quarantined, please send that information to your form teachers in writing, so that we can be aware of when the students are required to return to school. In the interim, they will sign in for their classes via, as I said, via the Schoology platform, and be facilitated in class the very same time that their classes are taking place live for the students who are present at school. Thank you all very much for your attention. Thank you all very much for adhering to these guidelines, and please ensure that you have your children ready for the resumption of classes from next Monday. Have a blessed afternoon. Have a blessed day, everyone.